where the pavement's got a long memory. Voice rough as gravel, teaching what the hard nights let him see. Says no one hands you mercy, you take aim at the life you wanna be. He don't carry a book, but he speaks in a rhythm that lands. Lessons carved in the calluses, line in both his hands. He's a asphalt prophet, preaching truth from the cracks and grime. Yeah, the asphalt prophet, a guide for the ones out of time. Saw him talk a kid down from trying to run with a hungry crew. Told him your story ain't written, don't let the pavement choose for you. Kid walked off thinking, cause the old man's tone rang true. Every word hits heavy, cause you know he paid in sweat and scars. He don't promise a rescue, just a path through the rock bar. He's an asphalt prophet, preaching truth from the cracks and grime. Yeah, the asphalt prophet, a guide for the ones out of time. Use when they got something to sell. But survival's a craft you learn by getting up when you fail. He's an asphalt prophet, preaching truth from the cracks and grime. Yeah, the asphalt prophet, a guide for the ones out of time. And when the night leans heavy, his voice still draws a steady line.
There's a door at the end of all, where the floorboards don't dare creak. Paint chip thin as trust dust, settle thicker than the words you can't speak. And the handle stays cold like a truth no one tries to see. Ain't for one, some truths stay sealed by hand. You don't go digging in corners you barely understand. 'Cause there's no light in the back room, in the dark there ain't your friend. Yeah, no light in the back room. Some stories refuse to bend. I heard a quiet murmur once, just a scrape like metal on stone. Step close, then stopped, felt the weight of something better left unknown. Some secrets grow teeth, waiting for the fool who walks in alone. You feel the air get heavy, like the past pressing hard on your chest. And you know crossing that threshold won't let you back to rest. There's no light in the back room, in the dark there ain't your friend. Yeah, no light in the stories refuse to bend. Truth isn't always cleansing. Sometimes it stains the bone, and pulling one thread too far can drag down everything you've known. There's no light in the back room. In the dark there ain't your friend. Yeah, no light in the back room. Some stories refuse to bend. So keep your steps measured, leave that room untouched for now. I never claimed I was righteous, never wore any shining crown. Walked through every doorway, knowing I might let someone down. But I'd rather be honest than fake some polished renown. Some folks paint themselves holy, try to look untouched by sin, but the truth is different when you feel it burning within. There's a halo blues I carry, a weight I don't try to hide. Yeah, the halo blues I carry, still riding right by my side. I've left a few scars behind me, left a few chances to right. Done things I ain't proud of, but they shaped every mile I got. And I'll stand by my choices, whether clean or tangled in thought. There's no point in pretending you're pure when you know you're not. Life carves its own lesson. Some come hotter than they are. That's the halo blues I carry, a weight I don't try to hide. Yeah, the halo blues I carry, still riding right by my side. Ever finds me, it'll find me in the state I'm in. Not in some story I painted to look untouched by sin. That's a halo blues I carry, a weight I don't try to hide. Yeah, the halo blues I carry, still riding right by my side. I keep walking steady, flaws and all. skies on my stride.
I met him in the corner booth where the lamps hang low. I met him in the corner booth where the lamps hang low. He spoke in half a smile, the kind that tells you what you shouldn't know.
Cards on the table, but none of them ever showed their face. Cards on the table, but none of them ever showed their face. Only hints and nods, the kind that make your pulse keep pace.
Promises sit heavy when the room grows still, and the quiet between words decides who gets the bill. Shadow deals at midnight, nothing signed but intent. Shadow deals at midnight, every vow feels bent. You trade your trust on a flicker you can't quite see, and hope the cost won't drag you out where you shouldn't be.
A whisper by the bar rail, sealed more than we said. A whisper by the bar rail, sealed more than we said. One wrong nod in that moment, and the floor turned red.
You think you're just talking, but the night takes note, and every soft sentence hangs around your throat. Shadow deals at midnight, nothing signed but intent. Shadow deals at midnight, every vow feels bent. You trade your trust on a flicker you can't quite see,
and hope the cost won't drag you out where you shouldn't be.
by sunrise, the truth walks out quietly.
chapter I never brag about, but the ones who watch me stand my ground, they know what I'm about. 'Cause I got a bulletproof reputation, built from nights where the pressure hit hard. No shortcuts, no imitation, just a name that'll hold when the crowd starts to roar. I took jobs no wanted, the kind that test your core. Walked in the tough rooms where folks keep count of the score. Earned my seat by showing up and giving a little bit more. Ain't no swagger in the story, just the weight of the work I've done. If respect is a race, I never skipped a single run. 'Cause I got a bulletproof reputation, built from nights where the pressure hit hard. No shortcuts, no imitation, just a name that'll hold when the crowds roar. Someone else's praise, the truth shows up steady in a way a man stays. 'Cause I got a bulletproof reputation, built from nights where the pressure hit hard. No shortcuts, no imitation, just a name that'll hold when the crowd starts to roar. Corner, boots cold from last night's rain. I stood on that corner, boots cold from last night's rain. Kept my word to someone who never learned how to do the same.
Pretending they don't notice the stain. Folks walk past pretending they don't notice the stain. But I know what it cost me
We met in a place where the air cut sharp as steel. Not much talk, just a nod that said I know how you deal. Some folks bond on comfort, but ours came forged in the real. There's a line you cross where only a few men stand, and the ones who stay steady are the ones you call your clan. That's the handshake of wolves, a pack made out on the raw edge. Yeah, the handshake of wolves, where trust is the only true pledge. I've walked beside you when the night carried no sign of ease, where every echoing footstep felt like a loaded tease. But you kept your eyes level, calm as a man who won't freeze. Some bonds come quiet, carved in the grit of a shared road. And once they're set deep, they don't slip under heavy load. As a handshake of wolves, a pack made out on the raw edge. Yeah, the handshake of wolves, where trust is the only true pledge. No flag, no oath, no book ever sealed it right. Just two men walking forward when others turn from the fight. That's the handshake of wolves, a pack made out on the raw edge. Yeah, the handshake of wolves, where trust is the only true pledge. We keep that quiet promise, carried firm in the weight of our stride. I walk past a stone when the wind cut close to the skin. Heard names on markers, like they knew where I'd been. But nothing in that quiet ever felt like a warning to me again. You learn a different rhythm when you stood in the cold that long, and the silence starts sounding like its own kind of strong. Yeah, that's graveyard confidence, a calm born deep in the bone. Yeah, graveyard confidence, where fear don't call you home. I've stood at the gate while the dust crested real tight. Saw the path curve inward, but it never stole my sight. Some folks tremble there felt just right. When you know the last step comes for everyone in time, you stop letting that thought keep you from crossing the line. That graveyard confidence, a calm bone deep in the bone. Yeah, graveyard confidence, well, fear don't call you home. Speaks, he speaks low with a nod that ain't unkind. Two old travelers passing, neither one falling in. There's graveyard confidence, a calm bone deep in the bone. Yeah, graveyard confidence, but fear don't call you home. Yeah. Knowing what waits but never folding in. Sharing a secret tune, button down, collar open, just enough to look immune. Folks see the shine first, not the warning carried in the room. You barely see the blade till you feel the weight of every promise he made. That razor line smile cuts close even when he's kind. Yeah, that razor line smile costs truth you didn't plan to find. He walks with ease like the ground bends out of his way. Laughs in a manner that makes strangers feel halfway swayed. But the smart ones sense the cost hidden in what he doesn't say. Charm that sharp don't come from a harmless past. You learn quick, he moves quick when the moment's cast. That razor line smile cuts close even when he's kind. Yeah, that razor line smile costs truth you didn't plan to find. Yeah, that razor line smile carves truth you didn't plan to find. Let's keep your guard steady when it turns that grin your way.
He keeps his wallet light, but his nerve thick as hammer steel. Says worth ain't in the numbers, it's in the risks you're willing to feel. He walks into rooms where the stakes bite harder than any deal. Folks count cash and comfort, but he measures what others avoid. Knows some fortunes get built in places you best not leave unalloyed. Cause money talks in gunmetal, speaks clear when the pressure climbs. Yeah, money talks in gunmetal, cuts fast through the comfortable line. Shaking hands on rooftops where the wind could take a man down. Sign deals in alleys where one wrong step could spin you around. But every move he makes lands solid on contested ground. A calm man in the heat, he don't blink when the tension grows. Says if you're looking for safety, you're not ready for how this world flows. Talks in gunmetal, speaks clear when the pressure climbs. Yeah, money talks in gunmetal, cuts fast through the comfortable lines. He says fortune ain't a treasure, it's a test of how firm you stand. And the brave don't get rich easy, they get rich by showing their hand. Oh, cause money talks in gunmetal, speaks clear when the pressure climbs. Yeah, money talks in gunmetal, cuts fast through the comfortable lines. So he walks that tight ground steady, letting danger weigh out the dime. I move like evening fall, rolling in off the ridge. Never fast, never rush, just crossing each bridge. Some folks think silence means nothing's on its way. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock.
forget they ever walked. But time keeps notes, and time never gets lost. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock. You can outrun chatter, you can outrun blame, but you can't outrun the things you set aflame. Sooner or later, every echo finds its name. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock. Step so calm you might forget they ever walked. But time keeps notes, and time never gets lost. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock. No rush in my heartbeat, no heat in my tone, just lessons carried quietly like one stone. What comes around don't need to raise its voice. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock. Step so calm you might forget they ever walked. But time keeps notes, and time never gets lost. That's dead man's patience, steady as a ticking clock. And when the dust settles, the truth stands on its own.
Steps into the doorway with a calm, practiced stride. Nothing loud about him, but the room shifts to his side. A cool nod, a half smile, and folks read the message clear. He's an underworld gentleman, polished from head to toe. Carries quiet weight that only steady hearts know. No need to boast when your presence sets the tone. Yeah, an underworld gentleman, polished from head to toe. Silk cuff at his wrist, coat tailored sharp and neat.
voice low as a baritone, humming through the heat. He says, little, but every word lands complete. He's an underworld gentleman, polished from head to toe, carries quiet weight that only steady hearts know. No need to boast when your presence sets the tone. Yeah, I'm an underworld gentleman, polished from head to toe. Refined and measured, but he's nobody's pawn. Moves like the hush right before the dawn. Respect flows his way without being drawn. Carries quiet weight that only steady hearts know. No need to boast when your presence sets the tone. Yeah, an underworld gentleman, polished from head to toe. When he leaves the room, still holds his note. Seat with a grin, I could like it with nothing else. I said, take the throne, you earned it, but those walls don't forget to fall. Every step in that big room feels like someone watching from down the hall. The shine on the surface don't tell you what the pressure will do. You learn real quick that comfort ain't meant for the chosen few. This smoke-filled crown looks polished from the outside looking in, but this smoke-filled crown turns every victory thin. I've seen good men lose their nerve chasing a louder throne. Heard whispers that taste like praise but bite clean through the bone. Power's a seat at a table where you dine, mostly alone. awakening. But this smoke-filled crown turns every victory thin. If glory had a label, it would warn about the toll. But you don't read that fine print till you carry in the roll. This smoke-filled crown looks polished from the outside looking in. But this smoke-filled crown turns every victory thin. Still I wear it steady though the hair gets tied around my skin. He walks down the alley, coat collar brush in his jaw. He walks down the alley, coat collar brush in his jaw. Never says a word, but folks clear out when they see him draw. No temper to read,
No twitch to give him away. No temper to read, no twitch to give him away. Only the weight he carries tells you he won't stray.
Some men talk big just to hear their own pride, but it lets his silence do the talking on the darker side.
Cold hands, warm steel.
That's the code he keeps.
Cold hands, warm steel.
In the hours most folks sleep, he don't deal in warnings, he don't make a plea.
He just moves with purpose,
Leaves the rest to history.
you won't hear him boast, you won't hear him explain. You won't hear him boast, you won't hear him explain.
But if he's standing beside you, trouble won't remain. He ain't cruel, but he's carved from a harder kind.
Does what must be done without a word on his mind.
Cold hands, warm steel. That's the code he keeps.
Cold hands,
Warm steel. In the hours most folks sleep,
he don't deal a warning.
he don't make a plea.
He just moves with purpose, leaves the rest to history.
When the night turns mean,
He's a quiet you feel.
I came up learning quiet rules folks keep inside. How you stand for your circle when trouble starts to rise. You don't brag about your backbone, you show it when the time is tight. I'm loyal to the last breath, that's a truth I hold close. Standing tall with my people when the wind tries to blow. If you walk beside me, you'll never stand alone. I'm loyal to the last breath, that's the truth I hold close. I've seen good friends tested, seen cold nights turn rough, but a promise means something when the road gets tough. You keep your boots on solid ground, and your word stays enough. I'm loyal to the last breath, that's the truth I hold close. Standing tall with my people when the wind tries to blow. If you walk beside me, you'll never stand alone. I'm loyal to the last breath, that's the truth I hold close. Some folks talk big, but their grit runs thin. I'd rather speak with my actions and the volume I'm in. When lines are drawn, I know exactly where I stand. Stand alone. I'm loyal to the last breath, that's the truth I hold close. You can count on me steady, no matter how the night goes. He walks with a pace that tells you who holds the line. He walks with a pace that tells you who holds the line. No shout, no threat, just a rhythm that says you're on borrowed time.
Folks lean aside when they feel his shadow near. Folks folks lean aside when they feel his shadow near, not out of fright, but out of a long-learned kind of fear.
Power ain't in value, it's in the weight you bring.
And he carries us quietly like a well-kept ring.
He's the king of the quiet street.
Doesn't need to speak.
He's the king of the quiet street.
Streets rules the strong and weak.
There's no crown on his brow, no road to compete. Just the hush that follows each step of his feet.
He settles his business with a look you can't misread. He settles his business with a look you can't misread. One glance from him tells you exactly what he'll proceed.
Some leaders stand tall, some hammer the ground,
but he lets the silence echo louder than any sound.
he's the king of the quiet street.
Doesn't need to speak.
He's the king of the quiet street.
It rules the strong and weak.
There's no crown on his brow, no roar to compete. Just the hush that follows each step of his feet. When he turns the corner, even the alleys stay discreet.